Hi, my name is Maral. I'm a therapist, counselor, and sometimes I do some channeling. And today, as always, I've got my guides here with me, my Tyrian guides, and we are going to be channeling this topic of language, words, labeling, categories. Even when I even say that out loud, I just feel like straight away I'm talking about the matrix. It's such the matrix, it's such the matrix conditioning. I really want to talk about this because for a long time I have noticed this words, labels, any kind of language that's come to us in this world that we live in. I just find it so restrictive, so restrictive. And sometimes I'm just like, when I'm like channeling or, like things just come to me when I'm feeling things, I just feel like, gosh, wouldn't life be so much easier if we could just use telepathy? We just feel what each one is each of us is saying. We just feel through it and we just know instantly what that person is saying because language is so restrictive. There's so much that I feel like, I want to say, but I feel like I can't say because I don't have the right words for it. And obviously, part of that could be vocabulary in my own language as well. But I really do feel it's quite strong in the fact that it's just very restrictive, especially when it comes to talking about emotions, feelings, you can't really put that into words, but I feel the matrix system as we are has really ingrained this culture of categorizing, labeling, and putting everything in these kind of boxes. Well, maybe there is no box, and maybe there was never meant to be a box, because we are creative beings. I don't understand how, as creative beings, we are restricting our creativity because that is restricting our creativity. So how can we be creative beings when we are? It just doesn't make any sense. So to me, I think it's quite clear that language has been put here on purpose when we could all just feel and really know what's going on. So I do have my guys here with me, and they're going to help me with this. And I really kind of, I mean, I know this. I feel like this could be a really long video, but I want to keep it as short as possible. I'm trying my best to keep this to shorter videos because I know, people only want to listen to so much, right? But when it comes to channeling, I just want to be completely open about it. So sometimes it can just go on for a while because I don't want to like stop anything. But so we're just going to see how it goes. The aim is to keep it as short as possible, but it could be a long one. So language, I'm being told language was not meant to be the language that it is now. No, it was meant to be something else. Okay. Language was vastly different at the beginning, vastly. It was from a space, from yes, galactic beings working in like together, creating some kind of systematic language for humans to be able to communicate with you guys. Absolutely. It was a communication for everyone, all of us, yes. But the language got changed. It got changed into something else. What came from that was something that was very earthly, right? Originally quite earthly, but again, quite in a very masculine. I don't know what that means. Quite I'm getting the word that I can't quite get. Something quite forbidden, something that was quite not meant to be here, that came in, that was very masculine, and that got changed to that. And then from that, something else came in. Okay, so I feel like we just kind of gone through one language after another this whole time in this universe. Okay. What happened then after lots of this saying, I'm kind of being told lots of different like tweaks, changes that was done from different civilizations, yes, that came in, but essentially it became this way that we call language right now, where every country has got their own language. However, even in every country having their own language, there's a common theme that's happening, right? And this common theme is basically the system we're in, is the matrix. It's what has become this matrix. Language has been manipulated a lot. It's been manipulated greatly, greatly. It is not, like we're saying, the original language that was meant to be here, which was all meant to be in pure light, in pure giving, in pure communication, in some kind of telepathy that at this moment we may not understand, but in the future we're going to come to more and more. Okay. But the language that is now has become, which is a very ingrained, manipulated, very matrix-like, put into some kind of structure system, even in the word, every part of the word means something. Yes, that was purposeful. I'm being told that was purposeful. Purposefully, this language was created to be like that. Yes, okay. So it does. Every word has got a meaning. It comes from something, right? We know that. But again, very manipulated, very purposeful. Now, in not every word, many words, but not every word has been, yes, but many words have been, right. Many language systems I'm being given have been, right. So the language that we're using now and this structure of this categorizing and putting people in certain, under certain labels, certain boxes, is the system, is the matrix, and it's kind of making us feel really restrictive, right? And it wants, on a soul heart level, we want to be free of that. We actually do. All of us, we want to be free of that. We don't want to be confined in this box thing that we are meant to be, which is not real. Because as I was saying, yes, we can't be human if we're in a box. How can we expand and grow if we are being put in a box, in any kind of box, right? It could be a box of labeling, labeling genders, labeling conditions, mental health conditions. Yes, any kind of labeling you can think of, right? It's still labeling. It's still putting people in boxes. Now, on a human level, we have got certain things, whether it's disorders, conditioning. Even the word condition, right? I'm thinking of the word condition. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. When we think about mental health conditions, right? That's interesting. All manipulated, yes. All that on a human level, we have come here with, of course, certain experiences from past lives in our soul codes. So even though we could say this is that, but actually, essentially, it's just what we're made out of, right? What we've come here to be, to experience, to be able to learn, to be able to work through, and through this ascension that we're going through, and through this particular time that we've come here in this world, right? To be able to work through, right? So it's not actually any labeling, it's just what the human mind has wanted to create in that way, so we can try and understand things in that systematic way. However, the truth of all truths of all of us is, in your inner self, is you are essentially complete, whole in everything that you are. There is no labeling of that. There can't be. There can't ever be a labeling of that, ever, ever. You have come here the way you are, whatever that is, in light, in pure love, which means you are complete in everything that you are. You can't be broken. How can you be broken? This interesting, I'm being told this kind of a boxing labeling that we've been given is essentially from this belief system that we are broken. So that's why we've had to create these boxes, these labels, right? Because it comes from this belief system that we are broken, and therefore you belong there, and oh my gosh, we need a way to understand what you are. But actually, okay, they're saying it's all kind of like not real, because actually it's not, it's based on fear. It's not how it works. It can't work that way, right? So we feel it. We all feel it. It's too much. But what we're coming to now is realizing and being open to that, and being open about ourselves, letting ourselves be seen, and being open about all different facets of us, right? That we're coming to. And therefore, there is no more. No, because as this matrix system is collapsing, and it is collapsing, and they're saying big time collapsing, we've got to understand there aren't going to be any more labels. In the future, there are no labels, no boxes, no language in that way either. It will be, eventually, it might be a while, eventually a different kind of language. But for now, we are creating, in a way, our own system, our own language based on complete love and heart that we are. We are creating what we're creating right now in this universe by being out of this matrix system. And that's by creating what we are creating from pure heart, from pure knowing, from pure remembering on some level what we are meant to be doing, why we are here. Okay, that's why we are creating what we're creating. And that includes language. Yes. Essentially, when you feel into yourself who and what you are. And so we have to remember the who and what we are by just complete feeling, by being more and more as we're doing, connecting more to ourselves, and by knowing in here what we actually are. We don't need the labeling, the language, the words, the categories. What if we got to a point where we don't need the words and we just know what there is, and the other person, there might be another person there in the future that will just know what that is, because essentially as we're opening more and more, we're going to understand things on that intuitive level, that even if we may not have the words for it, we know what that is, and that communication on some way will be spread throughout the universe where other people are going to pick that up, which I guess is some kind of telepathy, right? I'm kind of feeling it will be some kind of telepathy. It will be, yes. So it's growing and it is changing. Language is changing and it's meant to change. And it's beautiful, because unless this expansion happens, we can't, expand in any other way. Unless this language, the language changes and other areas change as it's going to, as it is, then we can't expand fully. And language is one of the things. So be that what you are and put that what you are out there, but from within yourself, with complete knowing that you are complete, not broken, not separate within yourself. No, you are complete. What you are learning now is the separateness. What you are seeing and feeling is that separateness that you have felt maybe for a while, but you have to see that in order to clear that. And once that is cleared, you are going to realize your wholeness, and even in language that's going to come through. So right now the language is all based on separateness, right? Of course, because we have on some level believed that we've been separate. So that has been fed. Language is whole. Language is one. Language is all of us in one, communicating with all of us. Even in different languages, if you go abroad and you go to different countries, you are essentially on some level, if you really feel into it, everyone can on some level understand by feeling into it what other people are saying, even when they talk in different languages. Language has become a barrier, but it's not a barrier, because the truth is the feeling. So you can essentially understand on some level what someone might be saying, because it's all heart. We are connected by heart. And when you're in your feelings, which means you are in your heart, you are understanding what that other person is saying, no matter what the language is. So feel into that, feel into the truth, and know that you are already whole and that you don't need this restriction of language that is.